Hi again, and welcome to Day 4 of Eventex Creative Week. Hope you're ready for another dose of inspiration and creativity from the world of events. Our first case study for today reveals a completely new approach to designing art experiences in temporary spaces. LiveCom Event and Experiential created a fully immersive environment using the latest technology to present an art collection of nearly 2,000 paintings, collected for more than 150 years by the largest national bank in Turkey, Ziraat Bank. They wanted to attract young and dynamic people at the Istanbul Youth Festival, so they created this highly interactive, digital, and vivid concept of presenting artwork. In the 5 days of the event, there were over 50,000 visitors who got to experience the art collection, along with a specially composed full dome show of 4K resolution, with 3D effects created by layering and compositing of the imagery. We are excited to have Miguel Neves for our first talk for today. Most of you probably know him from the social media landscape, where he posts video content or initiates exciting discussions with other event profs. Let's see Miguel's social media success recipe.
Have you ever wondered why brands are rarely social on social media? I definitely have. I've actually thought about that a whole lot. And this really made me go on a mission to get brands to be social on social media. Hi, I'm Miguel Neves, and I'm the Chief Social Strategist at Miguel7.com. In my view, the best way for brands to be social is to have a real social strategy, to really think about how to be social on social media, and then have a series of social media recipes, just like food recipes, processes that you can repeat over and over, not just to post content on social media, but also to engage with other people. So my big strategy really comes down to this. Converse consistently and share brand-aligned content that engages your community. That's it. I'm dead serious. A good social strategy means that you spend most of your time interacting and not promoting. So now that the strategy bit's done, I'd like to suggest 3 recipes that really support that strategy. Number 1, engage with your community every day. Now, it's important that you know where your community is. It depends on your niche. If you're in the events industry, then who are you creating events for? Now, of course, that might then go into other industries. So this isn't always the easiest thing, but think about what is your target market. Think about your clients, think about potential leads, but also think about partners, think about people that work with you, and just about anybody who you think you'd be interested in engaging. Once you know who you want to connect with, just spend a little bit of time every day engaging with them online. Have a look at what they've posted, like it if appropriate, better even, add your comment. If it's really great, then share it with your followers as well. People really appreciate that, so there's really no better way to engage with your community. Number 2, share great content that is aligned with your brand. If you have your own content, if you write a blog, if you make videos, maybe you even do a podcast, absolutely share that. But keep in mind that these should not be overtly promotional pieces of content. These should be things about the industry. These should be thought leadership pieces. If your blog or your podcast or the videos that you make are strictly promotional, then they don't fit into this part of sharing content. If you don't have your own content, then share other people's content, but make sure that it aligns with your brand. Yes, you can share pictures of cats. In fact, if you share lots of pictures of cats on your social media, you'll probably have thousands of followers very quickly. But I guarantee you that they will be the wrong followers. So I would not recommend that you share pictures of cats. Instead, share anything that's thought-provoking, that's funny, things that your audience will understand, that maybe are written or created by somebody else in your audience, or even articles from a well-renowned publication, something that you appreciate, but something that aligns with your brand. Really, there are no hard and fast rules, but the important thing is that you're sharing things that your community enjoys. And number 3, tell your story. This is the bit where you can be a little bit more commercial, but I would recommend never to be salesy. I think it's important to just tell your story. Talk about what you do. If you run events, talk about great events that you did or great client meetings. Be careful, it's not always okay to mention clients or potential clients, but you can mention how great an event looked or how fantastic it was perceived by the attendees. Just talk about what you do. Don't really sell, just tell everybody what you do. This is really selling, but in a social way. Every once in a while, it's great to mention what you do, what you enjoy about it, and really about the great things that you're able to achieve through what you do. So this is my big small strategy that I recommend, and 3 recipes that for me can form the basis of what you do on social media. It's important to add your flavors, add your particular way of doing things, figure out how you want to talk on social media, whether you represent a massive brand or it's just you. Just make sure it's consistent because that's really important so people get to know you. And of course, it should always reflect who you really are. Who you are offline should always be represented online. That is a really, really good principle to stick by. So if you have any questions or you just want to follow and engage with me, please follow me online. I am Miguel7 on all the different social media channels, and I would love to connect with you online. All the best.
Want to be involved in the biggest global event awards? Check out the different sponsorship and partnership opportunities, or apply for a speaker or a judge at eventex.co. Next up, we explore an event with a really good social media campaign. This year's Road to Coachella was focused on a multi-tiered influencer and social media approach. Throw in the work of accomplished graphic artist John Gorley, and you get a solid recipe for success. BMW partnered with Mirrored Media for this great campaign, and the Road to Coachella led them straight to the finals in 2 Eventex Awards 2019 categories: brand activation and sponsorship experience. The results exceeded all expectations, and the campaign reached tens of millions of people.
As an official partner of Coachella for the 2nd consecutive year, BMW continued to explore new experiential platforms in presenting The Road to Coachella, a campaign that seamlessly blended music, inspired design, technology, sustainable mobility, and the journey that fans and artists take on their own road to Coachella. This year, we focused on a creative partnership with John Gorley of the Grammy-winning group Portugal the Man, one of the most anticipated performers at the iconic festival. Gorley, an accomplished graphic artist, drew inspiration from Coachella and BMW to create a custom design that was printed and wrapped on a fleet of BMW Is for the campaign. Coachella announced BMW I's return to the desert through a 30-second video that documented Gorley's creative process. The second half of the video, released days before Coachella, debuted his design and his reaction as the wrapped i8 and i3 were revealed. These videos were shared across the official social media channels of Portugal the Man, BMW I, and Coachella. The Road to Coachella is different for everybody, and this unique campaign was the ultimate celebration of people coming together around a common love for music and art. In addition to John Gorley, the campaign enlisted 17 social media influencers from around the world who embarked on their own Road to Coachella. Each creator drove a wrapped i8 or i3 on their journey and created compelling original content from the road, at the festival, and at our series of sponsored events. Outside the festival, BMW I partnered with nightlife leaders the H-Wood Group to present 2 of the weekend's largest and most buzzworthy events: Poppy's BMW I Powered Paradise and Poppy's BMW I Recharge Oasis. More than 6,000 guests attended the exclusive parties, which took place at a sprawling estate just blocks away from Coachella. Guests were treated to several unique BMW I activations throughout the space. A fleet of wrapped display vehicles presented the perfect shareable photo op. Guests could also pose at the i3 neon art installation or relax at the BMW I Lounge. A large interactive neon booth experience with the brand new BMW i8 Roadster gave guests a chance to create their own instantly shareable video. A branded claw machine housed custom bandanas designed by John Gorley. 4 lucky winners even clawed their way to a hidden BMW i8 key in a bandana, giving them an extended weekend test drive of the all-new Roadster. The star-studded events featured performances by Diplo, Lil Wayne, and Post Malone, and featured a wide array of A-list attendees and BMW influencers. BMW I exceeded expectations by gaining over 882 million impressions over the 2-week campaign, with 1.1 billion impressions stemming from the BMW I parties, all without a single dollar spent on paid media. Ultimately, the Road to Coachella was able to reach hundreds of millions of people, making a lasting, authentic, and meaningful impression on Coachella fans.
Next, we move to the boxing ring in Russia. Thankfully, not for a fight versus Vladimir Klitschko, but for a business conference. Director's Cut created a unique conference on IT security problems, held in the style of a boxing night. Speakers, acting like boxing champs, performed their speeches on a real boxing ring. More than 200 CIOs of different Russian companies and security departments' chiefs of major IT companies attended the show. This exciting concept not only wowed and engaged everyone in attendance, but managed to overachieve on its preset goals by attracting 30% more visitors, 60% more vendors and partners, and increasing the overall funding for the event. A KO win in the first round. Let's see some highlights. And now the launch of Samsung Galaxy Note 8 in Milan, Italy. To entertain the general public and communicate the brand's beloved pillars, entertainment, sports, music, Samsung created the bigger show. Specially for the event, a 30-meter-high installation with screens was built onto a 120-meter wide stage to create the largest holograms ever made in Europe. The new device's features were presented via holographic images to produce a lifelike experience of its capabilities. The result was simply stunning, as the images became one with the surrounding area and Milan's fabulous skyline.
Sono tante le piccole cose che rendono grande una giornata. Le grandi idee o le scoperte che hanno cambiato l'umanità hanno tutte qualcosa in comune. Sono nate partendo da qualcosa di piccolo. Qualcosa di piccolo.
I got the answer
As we all know, the events industry is highly competitive. Independent business owners have a big task ahead of them to stand out from the competition and earn new clients. The key to a financially successful business is to reinvent yourself as a thought leader so you can win more of the right clients and bring in revenue from new sources like speaking engagements, consulting, and more. In this next session, Liz King will talk about her own journey to earning various accolades and becoming one of the 25 most influential people in the events industry, as well as how all of that has helped her event business.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz King and I'm the CEO of Liz King Events. We are based here in the New York City area and we do all kinds of corporate events specifically for thought leaders and helping them use events to expand their reach. And it's through my work with that audience, but also with my own experience as an event producer and an eventpreneur that I wanted to share a few keys to building your thought leadership to help your event business soar. So this particular message is targeted towards independent event business owners like myself, those of us who make our living working with a variety of clients. And I've noticed over the 10 years of my business almost that there seems to be a lot of common challenges that we all have. And what I'm about to share with you today is partially from my own experience kind of stumbling upon things and looking back and realizing, wow, that was really valuable. And also partially from a lot of things that I've learned, whether it's hiring coaches or reading books and articles. I've been kind of studying how to do this event business thing better. And so today I want to share with you 5 keys. The first thing I'm going to talk about is know your niche. The second step is to tap into your ideal audience. The third thing is to build your thought leadership. The fourth step is to professionalize your work. And the fifth step is to bring in new opportunities. So we don't have a lot of time. Let me dive right in. So the first step is to know your niche. And what I mean by this is that so many event business owners, if you ask them what they do, it's the same thing. They all say the same thing. Often it sounds like we do events and conferences of all types, everything from weddings to special events to corporate events. And there's not a lot of specificity about the value that you're really bringing to the table. So take some time and really understand what you are so great at, your unique set of skills, and why that makes your services so much better than anyone else who's out there. So make sure that whatever you're telling people is your specialty or your niche, it's something that really makes them want to hire you and not even consider your competition. A lot of people are nervous to do this because they feel like it's limiting their opportunities, but it's not. You can still take all kinds of work, but people need to know who you are and the value that you bring to the table. And that's definitely helpful when you have a very specific thing to market that, again, differentiates you from the market, which we all know is super competitive. The second step is to tap into your ideal audience. Again, this is a thing that many event business owners do, which is to just say that we are great at working with all kinds of people. But you have to know who you're talking to, especially when it comes to your marketing. So you want to do a little bit of reflection and think about the kinds of clients that you love working with and the ones who don't seem to work out so well. And this is a process. I think it's important to really understand who you're talking to. And some people think of this as a marketing persona. So you picture someone who's 35 years old and running a very successful startup, and they're using events to reach their target audience to make more money, sell products. Some of us are much better working with a bride and groom couple they've saved all their lives. This is the one big event they cannot wait for, and they're looking to throw the biggest party, and they want it to be really inclusive of all their family and friends, and they want it to be just beautifully decorated and whatever. So those are two very different planners and those audiences are very different. But again, we're often just trying to shout a very loud message and hope that somebody's interested. So we want to focus on the problems you're solving for your ideal target client and the benefits that they receive by working with you. From here, you want to build your thought leadership. Once you know what you're so great at and who you serve so well, then it's about getting your message out there. So jot down a ton of things that you could talk about on that topic to that audience and just start getting content out. People need to see you write blogs, do live videos, participate in events like this, and they want to know that you have a voice and that you have something meaningful to say about this topic. The fourth key step is to professionalize your work, and this is really important. Everything from the way that you send out your proposals to the kinds of things that are listed in your contract, and then of course every step along the way. You need to build your business so that people take you incredibly seriously. So identifying your target market, your niche, is really important. That's going to help you make a lot more money with a lot less events. And the other thing that's really going to help is if you are incredibly professional. So everything that people see about you online makes them believe you are top shelf event planner, and everything that they do interacting with you has the same thing. So you want to pay very close attention to your brand and the style and the colors and the feel, but also your communication style, the way that you share and execute documents. All of this really matters. And all of this sets you up for the fifth step, which is to bring in new opportunities. One of the things that I'm really passionate about as an event business owner myself is that often when the primary way we make our money is through clients, our business is up and down. And I'm sure you guys have experienced that so many times. So what I want you to think about actually is how you can bring in revenue by leveraging your thought leadership in a lot of different ways. So in addition to your client events, could you get paid for speaking or consulting or a plethora of other things, hosting your own workshops and events? So this is something to really think about. It's something that's very difficult to do if you haven't done these previous steps. If you don't have any thought leadership yet, it's hard to make additional money. But once you build that thought leadership, there are innumerable opportunities that really make the revenue much more steady in your business, but also it gives you an opportunity to express your experience and your creativity in a lot of different ways. So that's what I have to share with you. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. And I do run a program called Ignite that goes over this in a lot more detail, but I'm happy to share any thoughts and feedback with you in any format you like. You can reach me on @LizKingEvents on any social media channel, and hopefully we can connect very soon. Thank you for tuning in.
And now a case study devoted to one inspiring team-building event. For Merck Group, the German multinational pharmaceutical company, curiosity has always been the driving force behind human progress and development. For its 350th anniversary, they partnered with Fisher Appel to develop Curio City, a digital city for the company's employees. Curio City, the city of curiosity, was based on a unique concept where company employees were to build their own place to meet, connect, get to know each other from across the Merck world, and foster the feeling of one Merck. In April 2018, Curio City became real when 53,000 employees gathered to celebrate the anniversary together. During a 24-hour live stream, a musical baton was passed on in 12 locations around the globe to create a truly engaging and memorable team-building event. The event is a finalist in 2 Eventex Awards 2019 categories: Team Building and European Event.
Curio City, the city of curiosity. With a communication strategy that links online and offline, implemented by an integrated team made up of experts in live communication, digital, design, and video. Curio City, a digital city bringing together all employees in 66 countries. A platform for global networking, where the one Merck philosophy is brought to life. A digital city, constantly growing through interaction. On the day of the anniversary, the virtual Curiosity became a real-life experience. At the Curiosity Festival, 53,000 employees celebrated 350 years of curiosity together. Celebrations took place all over the world in a 24-hour live stream. 12 sites passed on a virtual baton across the globe with a 30-minute creative live show and a unique interpretation of the specially composed Merk hymn. The central location for it all was Darmstadt, where part of the company site was transformed into Curiosity, and 10,000 employees celebrated together. At the same time, we opened the new Merk Innovation Center with an interactive exhibition and gave curiosity a permanent home. The highlight of the unforgettable event was the monumental final show, in which the digital content from employees was given a huge platform with projection mapping and a large-scale LED show streamed worldwide. We showed Curiosity is more than just an idea. It expresses the feeling of belonging to the Merk family, wherever you are in the world.
Do you run awards, applications, call for papers, grants, scholarships, funding, or other programs? Aren't you sick of chaotic communication, hundreds of emails, and messy documents? This can be time-consuming and tedious at the very least. Say hi to Eventex, a next-gen submission and evaluation platform that streamlines all your work. No matter if you've got 10 or a bazillion submissions, we've got your back with the right tools. It's super simple and quick. Set up your program and tailor it to your needs in minutes. Then create a custom web page to collect submissions, or embed the form on your website, all fitting your brand's look and feel. Voila! Now applicants can start registering for your program. They get a personal profile to create, edit, and send their submissions with a click. And you manage submissions like never before, equipped with everything and more to make your job a breeze. The evaluation process is a walk in the park too. Customize it to your liking. Then invite judges and assign submissions to them at any time. Now the sweetest part. Monitor and analyze detailed statistics and grow your success. Did we mention Eventex works with your favorite apps on the web? Yep, you can connect it to the tools and services you use every day. Eventex is a joy for everyone involved. Applicants and judges will thank you for the convenient and quick system you've provided. And you and your team will enjoy the smart way to run programs, yet within your budget. Start working on your next program right away. No training needed. Sign up for free at eventex.com. Moving up to a finalist in as many as 3 categories: cultural event, public event, and Grand Prix People's Choice. Design is for everyone, according to Design Week Turkey's motto. Recognized as the most comprehensive design event in Turkey, its aim was to bring both design ecosystems together and make the event as accessible to the public as possible. The event was overflowing with inspiration from over 80 speakers, covering topics on industrial design, fashion design, visual communication design, and design economics. Numerous local and foreign design offices had exhibitions, installations, or atelier works specifically made for Design Week Turkey. Things were so comprehensive that even various artists, universities, and design schools were in attendance.
Made it our mantra to be material driven.
I am a designer and I chose to design image photography.
Next, we have Creative Pro, who were challenged by Roche Diagnostics International to launch Roche Healthcare Consulting by engaging the new brand's internal stakeholders. Creative Pro knew they needed to come with something big, something that would be deeply impactful and communicate the brand's values and intentions. What they did was something that no one had ever done before. For this launch event, they picked one of Bratislava's most striking landmarks, the UFO, a 95-meter-high, round-shaped structure with a stunning panoramic view of the city. Everything was set to present the brand's values by focusing on 4 key elements: thorough, precise, evidence-based, and smart. The breathtaking show was a combination of digital animation projected on the panoramic windows and a performance by dancers dressed in LED costumes and hanging from the outer window ledges.
Progress can't be held back. Welcome to the future. A future where not only a new brand was born, but a brand which was presented in a way like no brand has ever done before. The client's challenge: how to originally communicate the new brand. A brand that deserves to be seen. Do you know Bratislava? Bratislava has a UFO, one of the city's most striking landmarks. We attached 2 dancers 85 meters above the Danube on a viewing platform, concealed so that those coming for dinner be none the wiser. Because let's face it, who would willingly stand on a high window ledge? So the dancers were not visible, nor the transparent film on the windows. At the right time, and when the guests were least expecting it, we pulled the rabbit out of the hat. We moved the dancers and illuminated the windows with animation projected on the restaurant windows. Complemented by the dancers, we told the story of the new Roche Healthcare Consulting brand. Out of the blue, the guests had a whole new dimension of Bratislava. UFO's panoramic restaurant windows acted as an original medium to communicate the new brand's launch to stakeholders. How? Experience. We approached the project by thinking outside the box. We looked deeply at the client's intentions and chose a non-traditional new brand launch. Our progressive solution achieved the anticipated wow effect and made a truly memorable impression. The Roche Healthcare Consulting guys will always remember it, imagining themselves dancing outside the window too. Even with a limited budget, we achieved something really big and effective.
Do you think your events or services deserve the ultimate benchmark in the events world? Then pre-register for Eventex Awards 2020 for a chance to grab the prestigious accolade. You submit your entries later and can change categories at any time. To register, visit eventex.co. Music licensing can be complicated, and many event professionals don't know where to start. Knowing the rules is an important aspect of ethical meeting planning and can keep you and your organization out of legal trouble. Song Division CEO Andy Sharp will cut through the acronyms with some practical advice on what licenses you need, how much they cost, and where to get them. Whether you're hiring a DJ, band, production company, or playing music off your phone, he has you covered.
Hi there, my name's Andy Sharp. I'm the CEO of Song Division. Thanks very much for joining me for 5 very quick minutes here at Eventex on music licensing. It's a really broad topic. We're not going to be able to cover everything here today. Safe to say that at the end of the session, I will put up a free resource that has all the information you need, along with links to the various agencies where you can obtain your music licenses. What I'd like to do is clarify some misconceptions using true or false statements. The first is, I need a music license for my event. True, at least for the vast majority of you out there. If you're using music on your event and the event extends beyond your circle of family and friends, i.e. beyond a wedding, then you'll need a music license for your event. You need it for two reasons. The first is it's the right thing to do. We're all used to paying for services that make our events successful, such as AV, catering, the venue. We also need to remunerate the songwriters who created the songs that we use to make our events more beautiful and more memorable, and the way we do that is through music licensing. The second reason is that it's the law. It's copyright law. It varies slightly from country to country, but the basics are the same in that the songwriters or their publishers hold the copyright, and if we would like to use their songs on our events, we need their permission, and the way we do that is through music licensing. It gets very complicated in the sense that there are multiple copyrights in music, for example, mechanical, sync, public performance. What I'm focusing here on today is the public performance right, which is where you want to play a song at your event, whether it's through a band, a DJ, MP3, a streaming service, whether acoustically or through a PA, you need a public performance license in place. What I'm not going into great detail on are sync licenses, which is what you see on television commercials where a song is matched with a visual. We do see it at corporate events. To be honest, I don't think people have the right approvals in place, I think for a lot of time because they don't understand the music licensing laws. But if you're going to use a Rolling Stones song or a Bruno Mars or a Taylor Swift song on a corporate video at a conference, match it to a video of yours, you actually need a sync license. And to get a sync license, you need direct approval from the actual songwriters or their publishers. It can take months or years to negotiate. It can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you mightn't get approval for it in the end. So, yes, we see it a lot, but it's the wrong thing to do. It's actually illegal. Check out the free resource at the end. If you would like music for your videos, there are resources out there where you can get royalty-free music at a reasonable rate, and you can get approval immediately through services such as Rumblefish. The next statement is that music licenses, as in public performance licenses, are hard to get. False. Fortunately for us, PROs, or performing rights organisations, have been set up in each country that collect the music licence fees on behalf of the songwriters and publishers, so that it's easy for us as just logging onto a website and filling out a form. The US actually has 3 PROs. There's ASCAP, BMI and CSAC. Our recommendation is that you get a licence from all 3 so that you make sure you're covered and you can play any song that you like at your event. Other examples are SOCAN in Canada, PRS in the UK, APRA in Australia. The next statement is that music licences are expensive. False. As an example, you could be covered for an event of up to 1,500 people in the US for as little as $300. So compared to the other expenses that go towards putting on a successful event, it's not too bad at all. The last statement is, I've already paid for the music. I've hired the band, I've bought the CD or the MP3, or I've got my premium Spotify account. I've already paid for the music, so I don't need a music license. False. What you've paid for there is actual private use of that music in terms of an MP3 or a premium Spotify account. When you're actually performing publicly those songs at your event, again through a PA or the band's playing it to an audience, then you still need public performance licenses in place. There's a lot for you to chew on there. Hope it's been helpful. Please head to songdivision.com/music-licensing for a 101 on music licensing and all the relevant links. Thanks, Eventex. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Finally, for today, we have a combination of art and technology to tell an amazing story. That's the concept behind Reflections Guggenheim Bilbao 20th Anniversary by 59 Productions. What they managed to achieve was turn Frank Gehry's iconic building into an impressive artistic intervention for the public. Here's a quick look behind the scenes.
The Guggenheim Museum Bilbao represents one of the truly great and most extraordinary pieces of architecture anywhere in the world.
This week we are celebrating our 20th anniversary of the opening of the museum in 1997. So this event, this music and light and image event, for us is like a centerpiece of the celebration.
It is the building which changed the fortunes of a city. And so it's an incredible opportunity for 59 Productions to create a new piece of artwork to celebrate that moment. Most of our projected artworks try and spin a narrative, and it tends to be about the building or the location that we're working with. And in this case, we're telling a historical story. We are venerating the building itself, and then we're transforming it into something which I think will lead, hopefully, the assembled crowds in celebration. Well, we're about 3/4 of the way through the animation process. We commissioned a composer to write a completely original soundtrack, and we're kind of to the point now where we're stringing the piece together into a linear timeline.
The storyboard is sort of structured into 3 distinctive chapters. To boil it absolutely down, it's the past, the present and the future.
One of the scenes that I've created evokes the sort of industrial past of Bilbao, and when the music track arrived, it provided all the musical cues for sparks and steel hammers, and it's fantastic. I'm really pleased with the music. It just takes it to another level.
Okay, here goes. What I quite like to do in the studio is actually blur the line between what's computer generated and what isn't. So I'll use as many kind of organic and real instruments as I can, but then I quite like manipulating them electronically. That's great, it's going to sound amazing. It's going to be huge.
When Gary designed the building, he described it as being created to catch the light. Because it's reflective, when we first went to look at the building and did a very simple projection test on it, we didn't even know if it was possible to use projection and light. And in fact, what we discovered was it had one of the most extraordinary effects we could possibly wish for. It's just, it was never going to be entirely in our control.
Until we've seen anything on the building, it's not proved to be right yet.
So we're on the banks of the Nervion River in Bilbao, immediately opposite the Guggenheim. We've had a team here now for 4 days, installing infrastructure, projectors, lights, sound equipment. We're 2 days away from the show, and we're just starting to get really excited. I mean, it's seeing some of the extraordinary lighting effects, hearing the sound, the music come out of the PA for the very first time, and finally getting this incredibly challenging building focused up from a projection point of view. I think it's fair to say one of the most ambitious things we've ever attempted to do.
3, 2, go.
We wanted to do something which was public, which celebrated the spirit of the museum, which celebrated the architecture. We were aware of work that 59 Productions had done previously in Sydney, in London, in Edinburgh, and we thought they were just the perfect fit for us.
It's really nice to see the team's work finally up on the building after so long in the making, and everyone's just done such a fantastic job.
It's going to be an experience that it's unforgettable, and I think it will be a great way to showcase the motto of our celebration, which is art changes everything.
Well, it's over. That was all from the first ever edition of Eventex Creative Week. Thank you all for joining us. Hope you had a blast and are extra inspired and overflowing with ideas for your future projects. Don't forget to tune in for the culmination of Eventex Awards 2019, the online ceremony where we'll announce all the winners. The stream starts on 26 March, 5 p.m. UTC. See you then.